Hi class. So this example is going to show you how you can add up values using a loop. So if you think about how, if I asked you to add up the numbers from 1 to 3, for example, you would say, okay, 1 and then 1 plus 2, which is 3, and then 3 plus 3, which is 6. You would go in order, typically. You're not going to say, if I said like 1 to 20, you're not going to say 1 plus 15 plus 2 plus, you're going to do it in order. So we're going to do a similar thing here. And um, so let's say I wanted to add up the numbers from 1 to 5. You have to somehow keep track of where you're at, correct? So, and you're probably going to start at, I don't know, let's say we're going to start at 0, because initially we have nothing, correct? And then I need to keep track of the sum. Oh, that's the one that starts at 0. If I'm going to start count from 1 to, let's say, 3 or 5, I'm going to start at 1. And then I may say then while num is less than 5. Mind you, we don't like using magic numbers, right? So I should define a constant. If you remember constants, we would define this final int, let's say stop value. And let's say we make that equal to 5. So I'm sort of giving away the question that you have to do in the exercise, but that's okay. You still have to type it in. So while the number is less than our stop value, we're going to keep going. And I'm going to add to my sum the current number. So add to the sum the current number. So I would say, let's say sum would equal sum plus whatever the current number is. So if it's initially 1, it's going to add 1 to it. And remember, as the previous examples, we eventually want this to fail. So in order for this to fail, num has to get closer to stop. So I'm going to say num equals num plus 1. And then after the loop, I can print out what that sum is. Now, something to keep in mind, if I want to go up to 5, this shouldn't be just less than. This should be less than or equal to. So if I run this, and I know that the sum from 1 to 3 is 6, because I just did it verbally. Actually, I made a mistake here. I did this the last example too. Not sure why. So I'm going to try it while we're on 5. Sum is 15. But if I go and I make this 3, I know that that should be 6. So when you're solving problems, it's good to, when they're smaller problems, work it out in your head first or on paper. And then you can confirm your answer to the answer that you see output on the screen. I did this random example as, let's say our stop is we want to sum up random stop random numbers. Stop is a number, right? For stopping number. So I don't actually, let's say this. So our num initially we don't have any. I think I can make this. I'm going to say sum is equal to sum plus, and let's say a random number from 0 to 19. So if I run this, then we're not quite sure if it works, right? So what you might want to do is print out that random number. Then we're not keeping it, right? So we should store it then in a variable. So it's actually better practice to store these values into a variable. So I'm going to X this. I'm going to say int random number is equal to that. And then here I can just add on the random number. So if I try this, it's going to be 3 random numbers, 5, 0, and 19. We know that's 24, so it worked out. If I run it again, we've got 21. So that works out. And I could change this to, let's say, 30 random numbers. And it'll work. You could go through and verify it, but we'll trust the computer. Anyways, that's it for this example.